What new hobbies have you picked up this year, and would you recommend them to others? Calligraphy is fun. It improves your handwriting and forgery. I've been collecting rocks and crystals for a while, but I've finally gotten a tumbler and started polishing them. The end results are cool to see, but the process takes a month or more depending on the type of stone. So if you're a deeply impatient person or a perfectionist, you have very little control over how the stones turn out and there will be flaws. I don't know if I do recommend it. Can't really call it a hobby, but for the past month since COVID started and classes are suspended, I enrolled myself in free online classes such as photography, editing, art, etc. It's nice to have a little hand of skills and knowledge when the time comes. Archery. It's a lot of fun and an excellent way to clear your mind. Experimenting with cooking. Following a recipe online that you found is also good, but there's just an extra layer of enjoyment and discovery to be had when I try to work things out on my own. Especially when ingredients are limited. It's like a puzzle you can eat. The main point, to not let not perfect overshadow good enough. You probably aren't gonna be winning any awards with your first few attempts, but that doesn't mean what you created isn't special in its own right. When I try a new recipe, I follow it. Then I can figure out ways to make it better. Started learning languages. Recommended for sure. I agree. But you have to commit a lot more once you get to the intermediate level, I think. I did Babbel and Duolingo. I blew through Duolingo and Babbel was a bit better. But eventually, you get to the end and you're still not fluent. Now I've been reading books I know well in English and Spanish like Harry Potter. Reading the dialogue out loud and explaining the plot to my dog in Spanish on dog walks. It's been really helpful. I'm a big fan of you telling your dog in Spanish about Harry Potter. Both because that is hilarious and adorable, and because teaching others is a great way to solidify your own understanding. I've been lockpicking. It takes sustained mental focus, which has been nice to get the mind off of all that's going in. Plus if the apocalypse comes, it'll have a useful skill, which is a bonus. Sewing. I lost my grandma this year and she used to sew and knit a lot. I was given her sewing machine. So whenever I use it, I feel closer to her edit. Thank you so much to everyone for the wishes, advice and awards. It's been a little overwhelming, but I'm so thankful to everyone for all their comments. This year has been so stressful, losing my grandma, doing my final year law exams, and cutting out a friend of 10 years. All within the space of 2 months. So all the support means the world to me. Gardening and learning to play the guitar. Both are therapeutic. Started meditating this year, almost at 100 days in a row. I would recommend. But I would start easy with just 5 minutes in a session and build your way up over time. Analog photography. Fun to get a cheap camera and, not really cheap, film. Sent to develop and practice exposing photos. Or buy some B&W films and develop them by yourself in your basement. Got serious into reading. You really learn many things from books. I started watching Bob Ross The Joy of Painting videos. I've followed along to a handful of them, but did it in Photoshop rather than actually paint. His voice is super relaxing, and I get into such a state of content and zen. I highly recommend it. It's one of the handful of things that have helped reduce a little of my anxiety this year. Walks. Got a problem? Go for a walk. Got a dog? Go for a walk. Just ate? Go for a walk. Just been shot? Walk it off. Walkies. I started keeping fish shortly before COVID hit, and that has been a really good experience. We got into it with a small better tank, but now we have a 75-gallon freshwater tank and a 20-gallon reef tank. It's taught me a little about hydroponics, plumbing, water chemistries, and animal care. Hey, I started right before COVID too. I started with a couple guppies in a 12-gallon long. Now I have a 30-gallon, and that 12-gallon still. It's been a really fun hobby. Dungeons and Dragons. It's practically therapeutic in nature. It's actually helped me a lot throughout the confinement. I've been playing D&D since 1991. And I'm so jazzed that it's become so popular. Enjoy. 3D printing. It is insane what you can print with a low budget printer. Mine was $200. You can create your own models pretty easily, and if you are too lazy for that, you can download cool stuff from Thingiverse. Comes in handy too if you forgot to buy someone a gift. I started doing yoga and would definitely recommend it. It's good for you. I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. My current best time is 58. It's pretty fun to see myself progress and learn new things about it. Geocaching. You can do it anywhere. All you need is a phone with decent service. We started doing it with my 8-year-old, and she loves it. We camp a lot throughout our state, but obviously haven't been able to do touristy things this year. This gives us a way to look for new places without being around a lot of people. I've started keeping a visual journal again. Keeping track of the things I do and see every day gets me off the sofa. I don't want to write sat on Reddit, ate food and worked out every single day. Even if all I do is putter around the garden or go for a walk. At least that generally results in me seeing something new today that I didn't see yesterday. Plus I actively try and notice things instead of just walking obliviously through the same area day after day. I have started doing home exercise a lot more, and I must say that it's totally worth it. I 100% recommend it due to the fact that you get in shape, get a huge amount of confidence and helps with your mentality about other aspects of your life. I've been trying to work out too, but I can't ever get into it and end up being lazy with them and skipping workouts. Edit. Thanks for the advice. Edit 2. Thanks again. I'll try everything. I've already lost about 6 kilograms, 13 pounds, so I'll do my best. Growing edible plants. Quick growing like lettuce or basil/herbs, and baking breads are really satisfying pretty quickly. Meditation is great, but it takes a while for it to benefit you. It kind of rewires your brain. Takes time and effort. Woodworking. I've made things that I've been able to make a quick buck on. I've also been able to make things I wanted, like a wooden flag, hat rack, etc. Not really a hobby, but I've actually been staying on top of my uni workload instead of doing everything last minute. It has been nice. Piano. I know some people have already tried, but on my second day of self-teaching, I already knew how to play a song. It is really nice once you get into it. You can literally play ments and make your own songs. It's so fun. Started complimenting men. Few things are cuter than a grown man getting tickled pink because you said his favorite hat looked cool. I'm a woman. I learned from another Reddit post that men don't get compliments, so I decided to change that. It was hard at first because I'm usually shy, but it got gradually easier and now I just point out things on all people that I think are nice, and it's become as easy as breathing. Cycling. For my pleasure and as a way of commuting to work. Feels great, man. Puzzles. Puzzles help my brain so much. They really help my need for order and completeness. My husband will sit down to help, waggle his hands at the puzzle and leave. But for me, it's just a matter of pick a small something to work on and do it, then repeat. So soothing. Quilting. Have had to order the fabric online, but it's been fun and good practice with my sewing machine. Not a hobby, but I quit smoking. It feels good. Taking care of plants. Some might die at first, especially if you're starting from absolute zero. But it's not that hard, and seeing them thrive puts a smile on my face. Edit. I go to bed and wake up to my first Reddit award. No way. Thank you, kind stranger. I started playing the guitar. It's really relaxing, and it's fun to see my progress. Running a mile every day after getting faded. For some reason, exercise has never independently been able to activate my endorphins. But it works fine after I have some THC in me. It's done wonders. I lost 5 pounds in a week or two and am not even overweight. I love running, and I love being high. Why have I not thought of this before? Baking. So far mostly made crumble pies, but planning on making cookies, cinnamon buns, cake, and what other things there might be. It's been really fun so far. I've picked up baking sourdough bread. Pulling a fresh loaf out of the oven with a really great oven spring and fantastic color is so satisfying. And then I get to eat it with some good butter. Nothing else like it. I finally started lifting and walking/running. I walk about 5 to 10 miles a day and have started lifting at home. Down about 40 pounds and finally at my normal weight for my height, and also notice my arms getting bigger. Definitely feels good. Working myself to death. While the rest of my country seems to be worried about unemployment, I'd sell my goddamn soul to only work 40 hours for a week. Would not recommend. Not at all. Anybody want to fix hospital computers for a week so I can sleep? Puppeteering. It's really fun and surprisingly a good stress reliever. Knife throwing. Super good way to release stress and frustration. Talking to the people in my house. Apparently I have 2 kids, and I think that they are great. Does your spouse know about you having 2 kids? She knew this whole time and didn't tell me. Ha. No, I'm just kidding about not knowing about the kids. I'm the stay-at-home dad. Of course I know about them, and I love them. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.